What's going on, guys? Today is going to be the September 2022 edition of my entire DVD, Blu-ray, and VHS collection. And this is a video that, I'm about to sit in front of camera for an hour just showing all this shit. Yeah, I'm kind of putting it out just because I'm going to be very busy next few months. I won't be uploading too much. Probably make an announcement about that, just taking a little break from YouTube. But it's be the last full-on video I do before that. So let's get this started. I have gotten a couple of new titles since. And, this is going to be movie reviews, just to give you brief opinions and, just showing off what I have. So the first one is Cat in the Hat. Yeah, I saw it at 5 years old. Ridiculous movie. One of the stupidest movies I've ever seen. Sometimes it's so bad it's funny, sometimes it's just fucking stupid. So, yeah. Cat in the Hat, not much more or less needs to be said for that. Yeah. Curious George, I got this 2006, I believe, was when this came out. I believe they made a PBS show off of it. I haven't seen it since I was like a little kid, to be honest. One of the most overrated movie franchises, Despicable Me. I got the Blu-Ray and the DVD because I was a big collector at the time, not so much anymore. Now all I care about is having a copy of the movie of some sort. Enjoy the first one, but the whole franchise is overrated. Me too. Not as good, but I don't remember it being awful. Didn't see 3, but I did see a Minions movie, and that was crap. Didn't see the one from this year, but the one from a few years ago was not good. Dumb and Dumber 2. I think I like the first one a little better, but this still has some funny moments. I don't own the first one, by the way. Probably should. Elf, and very underrated Christmas movie. Got this for like $4.99 at FOE. I think it was during the COVID era, actually. Yeah, this is one I've always loved since I was a kid. It's hilarious, very underrated. Really, really enjoy Elf. Garfield movie from 2004. I haven't seen it in a very long time. I'm sure it's terrible. Forgot I had this. I don't even think I've watched this, to be honest. And Here's a Who, much better than that atrocity that was Cat in the Hat. Yeah, I enjoyed this, actually. Haven't seen it in a number of years, though. Now we got these movies. I think I own 3 of them. Yeah, I think I owned Dawn of the Dinosaurs, but I lost it. First one, enjoyable kids movie, but overall not anything special. Meltdown was okay. It wasn't garbage, but it wasn't anything to write home about either. Continental Drift was absolute shit. I haven't seen Collision Course. I probably never will. I've heard it's terrible. But like, probably the time that fourth movie rolled, I just didn't give a rat's ass about these characters anymore. Dawn of the Dinosaurs is terrible too. I think I own that, but I think I lost my copy. That's probably a good thing. Kong Skull Island. This was one of the best theater experiences I ever had, besides possibly Infinity War. Really, really loved this. I don't know how I compare it to the old King Kongs. I haven't seen that in a very long time, but this is definitely really solid. Really enjoyed Skull Island a lot. Lego Movie. Didn't expect anything. Loved it. Didn't see the second one, but definitely really underrated, really enjoyable kids movie. I own a couple of the Night Museum movies, actually. There are a couple of these I found in my basement. So we got the first one from 2006. Yeah, 2006. Really underrated, really enjoyed, really hilarious at times. I really love that one. The second one, Battle of Smithsonian, not as good, but has some decent moments. I don't remember if it's the third or the fourth one. I don't think I've watched this, to be honest. Polar Express, another movie, this gets a lot of crap. I think it's really underrated. I really enjoy it. But yeah, it gets a lot of hate for some reason, but I love it. Like, I think it's like in the 40s in Rotten Tomatoes, I think. No, this is really underrated. Really, I've always loved that film. Next, Robots from 2005. Anyone remember this movie? Because I don't. The 2 live action Scooby-Doos, I don't know why I own these. They are both terrible. Some moments where it's so bad it's funny, some moments where it's just bad. I think Monsters Unleashed might have been a little worse, but the first one's terrible. Don't get me wrong. You got these 2 animated Scooby-Doo movies. We got Alien Invaders and Zombie Island. I haven't watched these styles as a little kid, to be honest, but I remember enjoying Alien Invaders. Well, I don't remember much of Zombie Island, but Alien Invaders was pretty enjoyable from what I do remember. I don't remember if those are straight to DVD or not. They might have been. It seemed like ones that would be. Simpsons movie from 2007. I don't know as good or funny as the old seasons, but way better than new seasons. New seasons are kind of crap. But, yeah, enjoyable. I don't think it quite lives up to the old seasons of The Simpsons, though. Smurfs from 2011. Yeah, 2011. I don't know why I own this, to tell you the truth. I think I only watched it once and it was kind of garbage. Speed Race. I forgot I owned this, actually. I watched it in the theater at 8 years old and it couldn't hold my attention. I was snoring in the theater, actually. That's the closest I've ever been to falling asleep during a movie. At least in the theater. The first Transformers movie. Yeah, this whole franchise directed by Michael Bay is garbage. I think most people agree that Revenge of the Fallen is complete shit. Dark of the Moon is better, but it's not good, and then Age of Extinction was insufferable to get through. This ain't good either. There's some more problems here. It has some very racist jokes, shaky cam. Shia LaBeouf's acting is so bad, it's kind of funny at times, but yeah. Hate this whole franchise. This movie is no exception. National Lampoon's Vacation. A lot of these ones, were kind of ones I found in my basement, like a lot of these new ones. Only a couple actually went out and got myself. Lampoon's Vacation. I think it's actually rated R, but really underrated. I actually wouldn't say underrated since a lot of people love this movie, but it's absolutely hilarious. It's one of my favorite films of that genre. Yogi Bear, I enjoyed this as a stupid 11-year-old seeing it in the theater. Now, the story couldn't be more different. It's garbage. I don't really think I need to say any more or less for that. Star Wars now. These are ones I just started collecting, the Star Wars films. I got a ways to go still, but I'm getting there. And this one was also the original trilogy all at once. That's clearly the best. So, 2 of these have in 4K. One of these guys have in regular, which is episode 5, which ironically is the best one. So we got episode 4, episode 5, episode 6. Amazing trilogy. Episode 5 is probably one of, if not maybe my favorite movie of all time. It's right up there. That movie is just flawless. So 6, while the weakest of 3 is still decent. Episode 4 is pretty damn great, but nothing will match episode 5. Prequels, I own them all in one set. Episode 1 is garbage. Episode 2 is... Actually, I think episode 1 episode 2 are both really bad. Yeah, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones. Some moments where it's so stupid it's funny. Some moments where it's just goddamn stupid. But yeah, I hate both of those. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, is quite a bit better. I don't think it's great, but I think it's the best of the 3 by default. And now these new ones. I didn't get Force Awakens because it was really expensive, but I do happen to have. I just started the Star Wars Collection very recently, so I have Rogue One, which is I think a little better than Force Awakens. I wasn't a big fan of Force Awakens, but yeah, its different take was was decent. I think. Last Jedi, very polarizing. I don't think it's very good. I think it's a little worse than Force Awakens. Actually, it was cheaper, so why I got it. I do plan to get Force Awakens though eventually. And Rise of Skywalker is absolute garbage. I don't own that. I never will. Now on some Disney ones. I don't have as many non-Pixar, non-Marvel Disney ones as most people, but I have a couple VHSs I just didn't have in the pile because it would get really unstable. So I got Bolt from 2008. I remember seeing this in the theater, I think, at the time, and I enjoyed it, but I don't really remember. It's been a good while since I've seen that one. Probably more than 5 years, if I had to predict. Chicken Little enjoyed it at 5 years old, but I'm looking back, and it's terrible. Yeah, there's definitely some unfunny toilet humor, and I wouldn't say toilet humor, but just some very unfunny jokes here. It's not very good. Let It Go, very overrated. I don't think it's bad, just crown jewel of Disney, absolutely not. This is the only classic I own on Blu-ray. I was planning on getting more, but I just never got around to it because I got lazy. But not my favorite Disney film of that era, but it ain't bad. Lion King only have on VHS, unfortunately. My favorite of the classics, I think. Just a flawless movie, great story, great songs, great characters. It hasn't been beaten yet. Muppets from 2011. Haven't seen the sequel, but this I remember was one of my favorite Muppet movies. That's pretty hilarious at times. I should probably start a Muppet movie collection. I think that'd be fun. At some time I should probably do that. Winnie the Pooh from 2011. Very short, but I remember it's like one of the better, adaptations. Actually, it was really enjoyable. But this is another one I haven't seen in a while. One I almost forgot. $50 to go with the Musketeers. I got this. I don't remember when I got this actually. At least 2004. Yeah, probably 2004, 2005. I haven't watched since I was little. Like Ralph, I have 2 copies, and this was actually my first ever Blu-ray. But yeah, this I think is my favorite Disney film of, definitely of that era. Still think it's really enjoyable. Has some funny moments. I did see Ralph Breaks the Internet, and it was a pile of garbage. I do not plan on getting it. I was pretty disappointed with that film. The first one's still great. No question about it. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Pixar pile. Yeah, this is a lot here. Okay. Toy Story 1, I have 2 copies. Like I said, I was a really heavy collector at the time. Like, I'd get duplicates of a bunch of stuff. Not so much anymore. Now all I care about is having the movie in some way. Big part of my childhood. Definitely still holds up great. And, yeah, anyone who doesn't enjoy this movie, hasn't seen this movie, has no childhood. Street 2, I got just the DVD here, and then the big 3D pack. I paid, I was going to get the one for the 3D pack for the first one, too, because it just looked a lot nicer than this, but it was, $45. I wasn't about to do that. But, yeah. I don't think it's Toy Story 3, but definitely a really good sequel. Definitely, I regret not having this in S tier on my tier list, to be honest. Yeah, upon rewatch, definitely really solid, definitely. I would say, I think it's just below the first one, but definitely still really good. Monster Truck, I got 2 copies, the ridiculous 5-disc 3D pack and just the DVD for 2001. I don't think it's, Toy Story quality, but still, this one was also really part of my childhood. I still really enjoy it. It still has some pretty funny moments, actually. Now, the one that I have the most copies of in my collection, just gotta get that 3rd copy. You Find Nemo, got the VHS from 2003. Really emotional film. Sure, this is also really part of my childhood. Mostly films are part of my childhood, for the most part. The Blu-ray, I was going to get the 3D pack, but it was, again, too expensive. And the DVD. Yeah. Another really big part of my childhood, definitely one I would still say holds up great. Very emotional. So I got Incredibles 1 and then Incredibles 2 movie pack. This is the Blu-ray. The best Pixar film that's not a Toy Story film, in my opinion, upon rewatch, it's really good. Even for the time, it's really good. And this is the most dark Pixar movie, and it's yeah. It has some pretty good humor in there too, but it's not dirty humor or anything, obviously. Of course, I would be saying that, but yeah, my favorite Pixar film that's not Toy Story films. Incredibles 2, though, was a heavy disappointment for me. I was really looking forward to seeing that, and it did not hold up at all. A lot of the, actually good humor from the first one was placed with this dry humor, and then it's and I feel like it was just the first one, but really toned down and just, something bad just felt off to me. Yeah, I was pretty let down by Incredibles 2. Cars, yeah, I have 2 copies of this. Not Pixar's Best by a long shot, but I think the first one is actually pretty good. But is it Pixar's Best by a long shot? Absolutely not. Now I have a copy of Ratatouille here. I think my friend's dad gave me this. I haven't seen it in quite a while, but I do remember one of the best Pixar films, I think. Definitely better than, I wouldn't say Incredibles, Finding Nemo quality, but still pretty good. Now I got Probably one of the most unique ones. Wally, I'm not a fan of the way this DVD case is designed, though. It's really weird. But, yeah, this is one I really want to get on Blu-ray bad. Definitely one of Pixar's best, without a doubt. Now I got the most overrated one, in my opinion. That doesn't mean it's not great, but just goes really downhill after the first 15 minutes. No pun intended. Toy Story 3. Yeah, I have the 3D pack, and I just have the regular DVD. Probably the best Toy Story film is not the first one. I kind of wish the end of the trilogy with this movie 4 wasn't bad, but this just felt like the perfect ending, and yeah. Another flawless sort of film right there. Heaping pile of dog shit. I do not know why I own this. The worst Pixar film by far. Yeah, Cars 2 is terrible. Monster University, not great. It's not unbearable to watch either, but it's nothing special. Toy Story 4, the weakest Toy Story film by a long shot, but it's still pretty enjoyable. It just doesn't match that original trilogy. Soul, I just watched this for the first time last night. Really unique film. I was really impressed with this. I would say, I don't know where it ranks as far as like the Pixar films go. I really only watched it once, but really, really love this movie. And this makes it has like an Inside Out vibe to it, and this makes me want to pick up Inside Out even more. I only saw it once, and kind of regret that decision. I definitely should, give it another watch. But yeah, Soul blew me away. Really enjoyed that film. Now, move on to Nickelodeon pile. Surrounded by all these DVDs here, Jesus. Okay, Avatar, the complete series. My favorite, probably my favorite cartoon of all time, to tell you the truth. They're one of them. This show is just absolutely brilliant in more ways than one. Beautiful animation. It's visually stunning. Has some great humor, about obviously not dirty humor or anything. It's great for kids and adults. I just love every bit about it. And I do not own that live action piece of shit that was, that was made off of this, and I never will. I think I respect myself as a human being a little bit much for that. But that show is just flawless. The Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius from 2001. I believe this was the movie the show was based off of. I think I got this like a thrift store, I believe, in like 2019 or 2020. Yeah, that sounds about right. I haven't seen it in a very long time, but yeah, I gotta get that on a watch. This is the only Jimmy Neutron DVD I have, unfortunately. But this, I believe, is season 2, season 1, I think, actually. Yeah, it came out in 2003. Yeah. Really underrated show. Probably enjoy it just as much now as I did as a kid. Seasons 1 and 2 of SpongeBob. This is one that was actually good. These were the best 2 by far. I'm not gonna go through all of them because it would take forever, but these have some really, really great episodes on. Season 3, I would say probably just as good, and then after that was when everything fell apart. I got a bunch of SpongeBob DVDs here. We got this Christmas one from 2003. Yeah, that was when the DVD was released, and this has some really, really memorable episodes on it. Pause and read them real quick. Lost at Sea. This has some really good ones too. I don't know if the light may be a little bit bright, but it's what it is. River Foe. This is when it started to go downhill. 10 happiest moments. This is a real mixed bag. There's some pretty terrible episodes on here, and some actually pretty good ones. Nick Picks 3 from 2006. Yeah, this has some decent stuff on it too. Not really crazy about it now, that was at the time though. Now we're gonna end this with the SpongeBob movie trilogy. This is the best one by far. I remember seeing this in the theater when I was a kid and absolutely loving it, and I still love it to this day. SpongeBob movie 2 was garbage. This this could not hold my attention. It was unfunny. It was bland. This is the worst 3 by a long shot. And the third one, I thought this was going to be absolute crap, but I really enjoyed it, to tell you the truth. Yeah, this definitely was better than that second one, without a doubt. And now we're going to get to the one VHS that I have, which was Jimmy Timmy Power Hour from 2004. I think I might have only watched it like once when I was a kid, to tell you the truth. Oh, and I have one other one I meant to show earlier with those other kind of random ones. It's Snoopy Come Home. Really loved the Peanuts as a kid. Still really love the Peanuts to this day. Really no different. If I still had a working VHS player, I'd definitely still listen or watch. I think I have a couple of other holiday ones in my basement, I think, but I gotta look. So now we're gonna move on to, I think we should end it off with those superhero ones. Onto the Dreamworks pile. Something kind of eaten up here with all these and whatnot. Chicken Run, really underrated, really hilarious. I think it's really good, actually. How to Train Your Dragon, kind of on the overrated side in my opinion, but I can always say it's Bill claims is the best Dreamworks film. I just don't think it's quite that. Panda from 2008. This one actually is pretty overrated too, but or at least the first one's good. The second one, it couldn't hold my attention. These are the only Madagascar movies I own. Not really much I can say about them. I haven't watched this in a very long time. Monsters Villains, I probably haven't seen this since I saw it in the theater at 9 years old, to tell you the truth. Over the Hedge, this is a really underrated. Like, this might be my favorite Dreamworks movie, no kidding. It deserved way more attention than it got. I loved it. Now, the only 2 Shrek movies I have, actually, I have 3. It's in my basement because it sucks, and I have 4, which is still not that good. So we got Shrek 1 and Shrek 2. I think Shrek 2 might actually be better, but I love both of these. For sure. I own Shrek 3, but it's dog shit. And Shrek 4 was better, but it's still not good. Balls and Ground, of course, to wear. I bet another really underrated movie. Definitely hilarious at times. Okay, that's it for that. Okay. Now we're gonna move on to the non-Marvel Cinematic Universe Marvel pile. 4 from 2005. I have no idea why I own this. Yeah. I don't know. I think the reason I got this was 13-year-old me saw it at Best Buy. Kind of called my eye. I was like, oh, 14 bucks. Actually, not 14 bucks. $4. Let's go. Yeah, but seriously, this movie is terrible. Absolutely terrible. I don't own the 2015 one, and yeah, I think I respect myself as a person in my life a little much for that. Iron Man Hulk Heroes Name from 2013. Haven't watched this, to be honest. Still. Amazing Spider-Man. It's not great, but it's way better than Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'll say that much. But this still just felt like a more. It just felt like a watered down version of the Sam Raimi one, in my opinion. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is hot garbage. Some of the worst villains I've seen in a super movie besides Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. Yeah, Jamie Foxx Electro was atrocious. Whatever the guy's name was, Dane DeHaan. Yeah, Dane DeHaan was terrible Green Goblin. Whatever the guy's name was, his Rhino was terrible. Yeah. Everything about that movie is a mess. Spider-Man High Definition Trilogy on Blu-ray. Spider-Man 1, I don't think it holds up quite as good, but Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin has always been very entertaining. Spider-Man 2, I think, takes it a lot better. Definitely the best trilogy by far. Alfred Molina Great as Doc Ock. is still mind-boggling to this day, I think. Spider-Man 3, I don't hate it. I don't think it's good. I would still say, it has some entertaining moments for sure, but it's still not a good movie. But yeah, I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 is far worse. I can definitely see why it gets the hate it does, but I don't hate it as much as most people do. Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse. Yeah, the best Spider-Man movie. This is even better than No Way Home, in my opinion. The animation is just stunning, and this is pretty hilarious at times, but it has some seriousness too. This is just a perfect movie, more than one. I am pumped for the sequel next year. Yeah, take my money. I'm seeing that the day say the day it comes out, the second it comes out, take my money. So now, I don't own very many of the X movies just because I've never been like a diehard fan of them. X-Men First Class. Yeah, this is First Class. I think this is one of my favorite X-Men movie, actually. Besides Logan. I own actually 2 copies of the Wolverine just because of I think it was a misunderstanding, I believe. I don't remember exactly why. But, yeah. Definitely the more forgettable of the 2, I guess, solo Wolverine movies like this and Logan. Days of Future Past, I think I like, First Class a little better, but this is probably still second for me. I don't own the first 2. I probably will sometime. I don't own Last Stand and Orange Wolverine because they're a heaping pile of shit. Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2. I only own Deadpool 1 on Blu-ray, I own Deadpool 2 on DVD, just don't question it. Really funny movies, really enjoyed both of them. I don't know which I like better. I think Deadpool 2 is funnier, but Deadpool 1 overall the movie's better, but they're both great. Logan, this is probably the best X-Men movie. Definitely, I really like this darker approach to it. I definitely really enjoyed Logan. Last of the non-MCU Marvels, Venom. Yeah, this movie's kind of shit. I don't think I hate it as much as some other people do, but I don't think it's good. Like, there are some moments where it's really entertaining, there are some where it's really boring, it's really inconsistent. Tom Hardy's Venom was really trying his ass off, no one else was, and if Tom Hardy's acting was just as bad as everyone else's, I would probably consider it like one of the worst movies of all time. The way it is now has some saving graces, but still, I think, pretty terrible. I don't own Let There Be Carnage. That day will not come until the price drops a lot. Spider-Man 1 on VHS. I think I do. I also got Spider-Man 1 on VHS here. I think I do have the second one on VHS, but it's in my basement, I think. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the MCUs and the DC pile, and we're done. Iron Man from 2008. Definitely still holds up really well. I don't think it's in the top 5 MCU anymore, but definitely still a really great film. Incredible Hulk from 2008 also. Better than that snooze fest movie the 2003 one was, but it ain't great. Iron Man 2. People tend to hate on this a lot. I think it's actually decent for the most part. The Monaco Grand Prix sequence is definitely great. Movie overall, I think it's too much hate. I don't think it's awful. I still think it's spectacular either. Thor from 2011. The first time I saw it, I didn't know too much about the character, so I didn't really understand it. The second time was better, but I still don't think, I still don't think there's anything. I still never thought there was anything to write home about. Look at the first Avenger. Definitely a really good start for him, but undoubtedly, inarguably, this gets overshadowed by Winter Soldier and Civil War. Avengers Blu-ray and DVD copy. Definitely the best team up. The Avengers movies are definitely the best team up movies. I'm not a Fantastic Four, and then Justice League. Let's get to that later. But yeah, for a first team up movie, they knocked it out of the park with this. Definitely, I'd still say it's great. Iron Man 3, a little worse than Iron Man 2. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't love it either. The worst MCU movie, in my opinion, Thor: The Dark World. Yeah. This couldn't hold my attention. This was just boring. Yeah. Never been a fan of this one. Worst of the 3 Thor movies by far. And yeah, I'd say rock bottom MCU. Captain America: Winter Soldier. Definitely really good. Definitely, I would say it probably just misses the top 5, but definitely one of my favorites in the MCU. Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. The first time, I mean, I went in not knowing much about the characters, but this is a really fun movie. Like, they take a risk with this and actually works really well. I really dig this one. There's Age of Ultron. Incredibly big disappointment, but I don't think it was awful. The trailer just made it look a lot better than it actually was, but not bad overall. But of the 4 Avengers movies, that comes in last. Civil War, no MCU movies even came close. None ever will, in my opinion. This is just a masterpiece. Yeah, absolutely love Civil War. In my top 5 movies of all time, to tell the truth. It's really amazing. Doctor Strange, one of the ones I more recently picked up. First one is decently underrated. I don't think it's in the top 5 MCU, probably in the top 10 though, I'd say. I was going to see Multiverse of Madness, but I heard relatively mixed things, mostly negative, so I'll see it eventually, but I'm in no hurry right now. I mean, Marvel's been kind of struggling this year. So, Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 2. I actually think both Guardians of the Galaxy movies are better than Black Panther, to tell you the truth. I think this is just as good as the first one, to be honest. Yeah. Definitely seeing this in theater was definitely a really enjoyable experience, and even, after that. Spider-Man Homecoming. The weakest of the 3 MCU Spider-Mans, I still don't think it's bad. I just think it's a little on the overrated side. Thor Ragnarok, the best Thor movie by default. This wasn't in great condition, unfortunately, when I got it, but the movie still works fine. This is actually kind of hilarious times, I would say. I really dig this one. Yeah, the best of the 3 Thor movies by far. I made the mistake seeing Justice League in the theaters instead of this while it was out. That's a mistake I do not want to get into. So, Black Panther. The most overrated MCU, in my opinion. Still a really great film. I am looking forward to Wakanda Forever, assuming Marvel doesn't screw it up again. But, yeah, definitely really great, really epic film. Just really overrated. Like, top 5, like, 98% Rotten Tomatoes, nah. Top 5 MCU, no. But this edition is really nice, though, I'm not gonna lie. The movie, it's, like I said, I enjoy it. It's really great, just really overrated. Enters Infinity War. I think it's more Endgame, actually. The most epic theater experience I've ever had. Just seeing all these characters like together on screen together was something I'm never gonna forget. Yeah. Always love Infinity War. Captain Marvel. I waited till I could find this at 5 Below to get. That's how much I cared. Yeah, only saw it once in the theater. Didn't really care to watch it again. It wasn't terrible, it just was very understanding. Carl Danvers, the character, was annoying. Yeah, I was not a fan of I was not crazy about Captain Marvel. Avengers Endgame. I think it's on the overrated side. I think I like Infinity War a little bit better. 3 hours was a little long for me, but it did go by pretty quick, I'm not gonna lie. But because of an unfortunate injury that happened to me just about a week before this came out, I was about 2 months late to seeing this, which was really unfortunate. So all the memes did kind of spoil this for me the first time, but I still wouldn't say it was bad. I just think it's on the overrated side for some of the people. Like, still top 5 MCU that I doubt, but is it number 1? I don't quite think so. This is a 2-movie collection of Homecoming and Far From Home. Far From Home definitely takes it a lot better. Really like Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio in that one. Michael Keaton as Vulture is really good in this too, don't get me wrong. But I think of these two, Far From Home is definitely the superior. Now, No Way Home. This is the most recent one that I own. I was kind of let down by this, to be honest, because I thought he'd have more interaction with the Spider-Man, with other Spider-Mans, and more, interactions with the older villains and stuff. But really, it's still really great. I think As Hamilton is just a little bit too high. In the top 5 MCU, though, absolutely. I don't know if it's going to the top 3, but top 5 without a doubt. Okay, so now the DC pile, and we are finally done. The Batman movie from 1966, based off the... Actually, is this 1966? Yeah, it is. Okay, not going crazy here. Based on the Adam West TV show. Honestly, it's kind of garbage if you're taking it seriously, but, if you don't take it seriously, which means this is not the kind of Batman you take seriously at all, then it is an enjoyable watch, I would say. Batman 4-film collection. No idea why I own these. Let's just focus on these, alright? Really enjoy Batman 1889, Batman Returns. It's also really great. Batman Forever is terrible in my opinion. Batman and Robin, yeah, we don't talk about that. I Still See You. Yeah. That's it. I don't think any much more or less needs to be said for that. Batman Mask of the Phantasm from 1993, I believe. Yeah, the movie's from 1993. This is a 2005 release, this DVD. I think it's based off the Batman animated series. I don't think it's as great as people make it out to be, but I still really enjoyed this. Definitely a solid watch, but I think again, my students were a little hot for this. Dark Knight trilogy, probably my second favorite movie trilogy. I don't know if as a trilogy I like this or the original Star Wars trilogy better. These are both, they're both right up there. Dark Knight's best by far. I really enjoy Dark Knight Rises compared to most people, and Batman Begins. It's still great, but probably the on the lower end of the 3. But Dark Knight is definitely amazing. Heath Ledger's Joker absolutely blows me away every single time. Love that film. Dark Knight Returns from 2012. I remember it's actually being pretty good for like an animated Batman movie. It's pretty dark too, from what I remember. I have no idea why I own this. Moving on. Green Lantern. I think 11-year-old me saw us at Best Buy for a couple bucks and was like, sure. But yeah, this got the dog shit movie too. Man of Steel from 2013. Yeah, it's a digibook. I'm not sure the inside of it a little bit. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Man of Steel at all. I think the movie's kind of a mess, to tell you the truth. But this edition's really cool though. Can't deny. But the movie, I'm not a fan of Man of Steel. Like a 13-year-old shouldn't be nearly dozing off in the theater watching this movie. Yeah, I think I just wasn't a fan of the dark approach they took to Superman. It just felt really wrong in my opinion. Yeah, I've never been a fan of Man of Steel. Uncle Batman movie, it was based off the video game, I believe. I saw it once when I got it. I don't remember much about it, to tell you the truth. Same with Justice League Doom. This is from 2014. Yeah, I saw it once. I don't remember much about it. Batman vs Superman is garbage. I think Man of Steel might be a little bit worse, but I was not a fan of this either. Ben Affleck's Batman's the saving grace, but the movie as a whole is a mess. Suicide Squad from 2016. I thought this was an entertaining mess when I first saw it. The second time was a mess. I'm not a fan of Suicide Squad at all. I think it's terrible. There are some saving graces like Will Smith as Deadshot, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, but ultimately I think the movie's terrible. Lego Batman the movie. I still haven't watched this yet. I've heard it's actually pretty fun for most people. Just haven't gotten around to watching it yet, but sometime when I'm not super busy, I will. Joker, I did managed to watch this once. I think it's kind of on the overrated side, but Joaquin Phoenix does give a really good performance in this. 2 more and we're done. Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't own the Josh Whedon one. Don't plan on it. This wasn't perfect. Had some of the same issues, but obviously nowhere near the same extent. This is overall definitely a much better movie than the Josh Whedon one, but I don't think I love it as much as most other people do, but it's still pretty damn good. Batman with Robert Pattinson from this year. This is the first, seeing this movie in the theater, I remember, was the first time I saw a movie in theater also for COVID, and Pattinson's Batman absolutely blew me away. Like, that's probably like the single best performance is Batman. Like, absolutely, he was absolutely phenomenal. Like, one of the best roles in a Superman movie, to be honest. But, and even, like, the Dark Post Riddler, I didn't know what I was going to think. They did a really good job with it, not gonna lie. And even, whatever her name was Catwoman, was really good too, yeah. This might actually be probably tied with Dark Knight. This might be a little better than Dark Knight. I had to rewatch both of them again, but yeah, this definitely blew me away. So, that's pretty much it for my entire DVD, Blu-ray, and VHS collection. Yeah, this was quite the chore to do. That's actually why I'm only doing these types of videos like every 8 months or so. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So.